If your game feels bad, it's probably not your graphics or your gameplay. It's most likely the AI, and without real tension, players stop caring. So, here's how to design good AI that keeps them hooked. So, let's start with step 1. When I began building the system, I didn't start with logic, I started with my single starting question, and that is, what is this AI even for? And this answer also needed to be short, clear, and focused. The police AI in my drifting game existed to do one thing, and that is to catch the player. That's the primary directive. It's non-negotiable. But from that single role, a whole set of supporting behavior emerged. These are: keep visible pressure at all times, avoid doing anything that breaks realism or feel gamey, escalate over time and how long the player survives, distinguish themselves clearly from my race AI through behavior. And this step matters, because with a clear role you end up building behavior trees that feel aimless, but every line of code and every decision is anchored in this function. The first layer I built wasn't a chase, it was patrol. I started with something ambient, something to make the AI feel present. The police AI they follow a custom-built road graph where each road segment is a node and the intersection form connections. At every intersection, the AI randomly decides a direction it wants to go in and continues. There is no real destination, no global plan. It's just motion and momentum. And that's the point. A patrol unit isn't interesting because of what it is doing. It's just interesting because of what it might do next. When the players encounter that AI, it already is in motion, and it feels like it exists and belongs in the world beyond them. This small step builds trust. It makes AI feel like part of a system and part of the world, not just a reaction to player input. And once that patrolling system worked, I needed a way to change modes, from passive to aggressive. And this is where clear state machine comes in. Each police car can either be one of two states, patrolling or chasing. The transitions are based on simple triggers: proximity, line of sight, or later a rising global heat value. No behavior trees, no layered conditionals, just clean, readable states. This is kind of a binary state system that keeps the logic testable, and more importantly, it keeps behavior readable to the player. They can see the switch happen, they can understand what caused it, and that understanding makes AI feel fair, even when it's really aggressive. And as soon as the chase begins, the AI needs a target. And while it's really tempting to just chase the current player position, that fails almost immediately in a game focused on drifting. Because in a drift, your direction of travel often has nothing to do with where your car is pointing. So instead of the current position, I build a simple prediction system. The AI samples the player's velocity and forward direction, and projects a point forward using a small look-ahead time. This becomes a new chase target. It's a simple piece of logic, just a few math operations, but the impact is immediate. Suddenly, the police don't feel like they're following. They feel like they're anticipating, and that alone makes them feel smarter, even if they aren't. Now my AI has a chase target. It needs a path to get there. But here's the catch. It shouldn't move like my racing AI. It shouldn't take shortcuts, shouldn't magically know the terrain, and it should stay on roads. So I reused the same road graph from the patrol system. The AI uses simple pathfinding to move from its current road segment to the predicted future segment of the player, all with legal road connections. No nav mesh, no terrain checks, just roads and turns. And this constraint changes everything. It makes the police feel grounded, like physical entities in the world, and they are obeying the same rules as the player does. They become something the players can strategize around. They feel fair, not just because they're weak, but because they're feeling real. And with that, we can move on to the next point, which is complexity through independent behavior. Each police car runs the same logic, but there is no squad commander, no shared state. They all act alone, which means one might arrive early, another might overshoot, and a third might collide into a roadblock without meaning to. But that chaos doesn't break the system, it enhances it. To the player, this isn't disorganized behavior. It's a realistic, believable variation. The system feels dynamic even though it's deterministic, and that illusion of coordination, when it wasn't actually really designed, is a powerful tool. And as you probably know, all these animations and systems in my video are built and animated with code, and honestly that step-by-step problem solving is at the core of how I think. I'm always looking for new ways to get better at breaking down tricky problems, whether it's AI logic or some weird animation trick. And that honestly is why I keep coming back to Brilliant. I started using it because I wanted to sharpen the same kind of thinking I used for game development and animation. And it's quickly become one of my favorite ways to keep my brain in shape. Brilliant is a platform that is all about helping you become a better thinker and problem solver with thousands of visual, interactive lessons in math, science, programming, and even AI. And instead of just reading or memorizing, you actually experiment, play with real problems, and build that gut-level intuition that actually sticks and that is fun to learn. The programming and logic courses especially fit right into the stuff that I do every day. And I actually caught myself using some of the techniques I picked up with Brilliant while working on my own projects. And honestly, that way they turn hard topics into something visual and hands-on just makes learning feel fun and natural. So if you want to go give it a try, just head over to the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen. And if you use my link, you even get 20% off of the annual premium subscription of Brilliant, so you get unlimited access to everything. And big thanks to them for supporting this channel and making creative learning genuinely enjoyable. Now let's get back to our AI and see how that logic can make a game world feel alive. One of the most important design choices I made was deciding what the police AI can't do. Especially, they don't drift. They take wider lines, they brake earlier, and they corner slower. This isn't just a flaw, it's a feature. In a drifting game, the player's skill is defined by their ability to take high-speed corners. By making the police worse at this one thing, I gave the player a natural advantage, supporting my core action, one that feels earned, not just scripted. Enemies don't have to match the player. They just have to challenge them in ways that complements the player's strengths and your core systems. And after that we can move on to long-term tension, because right now the system works but it's really flat. So the next thing I did is I introduced heat levels. It's a global value that rises when the player continues to escape pursuit, based on other systems like, for example, in Need for Speed. And as the heat rises, the system escalates. More police units spawn, prediction becomes a bit more aggressive, and eventually even roadblocks appear on upcoming road segments. The roadblocks aren't just placed randomly, they use the same prediction system as the chasing, predicting whether the player will go left or right, or preemptively blocking those paths. This creates an elegant curve of tension. Early chases are really manageable, but sustained evasion becomes increasingly complex, and that arc, that rising difficulty built entirely from existing systems, is what makes the experience feel organic and fun. The goal here is to solve one problem at a time and stack those results. The system I have just described didn't appear in full form, it was built in layers. First I defined the purpose, then I implemented movement, then states, added prediction, built some constraints, let the AI agents act independently, introduce some contrast, and finally layer in escalation. Each step solves a single problem, and only when those problems were solved in isolation, they become something greater. This police system isn't cinematic, it's not flashy, it's not even particularly complex, but it does the job consistently. It chases the player, it creates pressure, and over time, it builds that kind of escalating tension that makes high-speed escapes feel earned. If you found this breakdown helpful, consider subscribing for more video like it. And if you want to see the system in action, wishlist my game on Steam, Chishu Drift. If you have any more questions towards AI or how you should build them inside your game, drop in the comments down below. And with that, I hope you subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.